In the world of international trade, countries often exchange goods and services. Think of it like a giant swap meet where everyone brings their best products to sell. Sometimes a country wants to protect its own businesses or influence the behavior of other countries. That's where tariffs come in. A tariff is basically a tax on goods imported from another country. For example, imagine the United States wants to protect its own car manufacturers. The government could place a tariff on cars imported from Japan. This would make those Japanese cars more expensive for American buyers, encouraging them to buy American-made cars instead. Tariffs are a tool used by governments to influence trade and protect their own interests. However, they can also have unintended consequences, especially in unexpected places like remote, uninhabited islands. Tariffs can disrupt the delicate balance of global trade and have ripple effects that extend far beyond their intended targets. In the next sections, we'll explore how the Trump administration's use of tariffs impacted the uninhabited islands of Heard and McDonald, highlighting the complex relationship between economics, ecology, and international relations. In the vast expanse of the Southern Ocean, far from the bustling cities and crowded streets lie two small volcanic islands, Heard Island and McDonald Island. These remote outposts, part of the Australian external territory, are among the most isolated places on Earth. The islands are shrouded in mystery, often battered by harsh winds and icy waters. Heard Island, the larger of the two, is dominated by a massive volcano called Big Ben. It's a place of stark beauty, with glaciers flowing down its slopes and rugged cliffs plunging into the sea. McDonald Island, located about 40 kilometers to the west, is smaller and even more desolate, known for its active volcanoes and barren landscapes. These islands may seem insignificant at first glance, but they play a vital role in the delicate balance of the Southern Ocean ecosystem. They are home to a surprising array of wildlife, including penguins, seals, and seabirds, some of which are found nowhere else on Earth. Despite their remoteness, these islands are not immune to the impacts of human activities, as we shall see in the following sections. Donald Trump campaigned for president on a platform of economic nationalism, promising to protect American jobs and industries from what he saw as unfair foreign competition. Once in office, he made good on his promise, launching a series of trade disputes with countries around the world, including China, Canada, and Mexico. One of Trump's main weapons in these trade wars was tariffs. He imposed tariffs on hundreds of billions of dollars worth of goods imported from China, sparking a tit-for-tat trade war between the world's two largest economies. He also slapped tariffs on steel and aluminum imports from Canada, Mexico, and the European Union, arguing that these imports threatened national security. Trump's aggressive use of tariffs marked a sharp departure from the free trade policies of his predecessors. His actions sent shockwaves through the global economy, disrupting supply chains, raising prices for consumers, and fueling uncertainty in financial markets. The effects of his trade policies were felt far and wide, even reaching the remote shores of Heard and McDonald Islands. Section 4. Uninhabited but not untouched economic activities on Heard and McDonald Islands. While Heard and McDonald Islands are uninhabited by humans, they are not entirely untouched by human activities. The islands are situated within the Southern Ocean, a rich fishing ground for species like Patagonian toothfish, often marketed as Chilean sea bass. Fishing vessels, primarily from Australia and other nations, operate in these waters, contributing to a small but significant economic activity linked to these remote islands. Scientific research is another key activity associated with Heard and McDonald Islands. Due to their pristine environment and unique biodiversity, the islands attract scientists from around the world who study climate change, geology, and the delicate balance of the Southern Ocean ecosystem. These research activities, while not directly generating revenue, contribute valuable knowledge and understanding of our planet. Although no permanent human settlements exist on Heard and McDonald Islands, their surrounding waters and unique ecological features attract economic activities like fishing and scientific exploration. These activities, while seemingly remote, are nonetheless connected to the global economy and susceptible to the ripple effects of international trade policies, as we will explore in the next section. Section 5. The Tariff Twist: How Trump's policies affected these remote locations. The Trump administration's tariffs, primarily aimed at major economies like China, had unexpected consequences for places like Heard and McDonald Islands. While seemingly unrelated, the interconnected nature of global trade meant that even these remote outposts felt the impact. The tariffs disrupted established trade routes and created uncertainty in the fishing industry, impacting the small but vital economic activity associated with these islands. The tariffs imposed on Chinese goods, for instance, led to retaliatory tariffs from China on American products. This trade war indirectly affected the fishing industry operating around Heard and McDonald Islands. With increased costs for exporting seafood to China, a major market, fishing vessels operating in the Southern Ocean faced economic pressure. This pressure potentially translated to reduced fishing activity or shifts to other fishing grounds, impacting the economic viability of fishing around these islands. Additionally, the tariffs created uncertainty in the global market, making it difficult for businesses to plan and invest. This uncertainty had the potential to discourage fishing companies from operating in the waters surrounding Heard and McDonald Islands. The tariffs, while intended to protect American interests, ultimately had unforeseen consequences for these remote outposts, highlighting the interconnected nature of the global economy and the far-reaching impacts of trade policies.